Hello, my name is Jenan Kanono. I'm the team leader at Jonaki Holdings Limited, where we get to serve you. So if you have a financial challenge, if you have a money problem, if you want to scale up your business, we have you sorted. And you can always check us out at www.thejonakiholdings.com for money solutions. We are located in Tinda as our headquarters and at Mulago Business Center as our branch. Enjoy this video. Welcome to yet an interesting topic, appraising and assessing loan using car logbook as a collateral. See, some of these questions arise from the discussions that I usually have with some of the guys that I mentor, but also some of the comments that come through on my YouTube channel. And I actually take them pertinently and I actually consider them. Why? Because we need to grow together. We need to progress together. As I usually say, iron sharpens iron. So we ought to actually sharpen one another. So you could be having some information, you have some wisdom, some knowledge, or some experience that you've actually learned. You ought to actually share it with someone, because as you share it, then you actually get to empty yourself, and then you can actually get refilled with more wisdom and more knowledge. But also, if you paid school fees, by lending to a wrong client, and you learned the hard way, you ought not to let your friend learn the hard way. You ought to support your friend to jump the channel, to jump that trap. And that's why I endeavor to come here and share with you. So how do you actually assess a client or appraise a client if they brought a car logbook as a collateral? The first thing you need to ensure is that you have to make sure that you're not parking cars. There are guys who tell you, some of the guys that I mentor, some of the guys that I get to interact with in the lending industry. Someone tells to me, I just tell the guy, I park the car here. But parking the car in the first place does not confirm that the guy has taken money from you. But also parking the car does not confirm that you have interest in the car itself. Some of the clients actually that have proved that push for the parking of the car to go through that uncomfortable situation of you're used to a car and the guy decides to park it is because probably they borrowed against that car from some other lender. And that's why they're committing that car to be parked. Why? Because that as you park this car, someone already probably installed the tracker in that car and probably already put a caveat on that car logbook. So in all instances, you can lose the matter firsthand. So if you've been lending money against parking the cars, that does not add up. That does not make sense. But also, you can imagine if you're lending you have over 1,000 clients. Where are you going to get the parking lot to park the 1,000 cars? Where? Because you don't have enough space to park the cars. Now, it could be that probably you have the space. What then happens if they come and vandalize those cars? What do you tell the client? Because the law requires that if the client gives you a collateral, you ought to give them back to them in the way it was given to you, without any challenge, without any tamper. Now you can imagine if someone jumped in the gate or jumped in that fence where you're parking the cars and and removed headlamps and and probably even removed a number of things. What happens? You've lost the money. The client can sue you and actually lose the loan outright. So you actually ought not to park the car. There are better ways, there are better channels that you can actually use, as I'm going to share with you in this video, that you can employ to actually express your interest on the loan that you have disbursed. To register your interest and show that, I have interest on this item. The first key thing you need to ensure is that you need to value the car. That I cannot emphasize enough, because you're not an expert. We had incidences. Someone brings you a very nice looking car, probably Mercedes or whichever it is. It is glittering, it looks beautiful. And the person says, I bought this car 100 million. And for you looking at it, you're like, man, this car is a big thing. It's precious. It's probably Mercedes-Benz or probably Range Rover. And you give the money against that car. Please, please, and please. You need to get an expert opinion on that car through valuation. You're not a valuer, you're not an expert. You cannot value that car by looking at it. So you ought to get someone to value the car, so that you can know what the market value of that car is, what the first sale value of the car is, and what percentage of the first sale value you can give that car. Now, there's those guys who actually go ahead and value, but also give the market value. Now, you've ideally bought that car from that client. The guy has sold the car to you. And in the event that you want to sell it or resell it, you may not raise that very money. Now, in the event that you even raise that money, you will not raise the interest on that money because the client has sold the car to you. So you owe not to give the market value of that car after valuation. So the report is very clear if you have a professional valuer, unless you have a quarter valuer. But if you have a professional valuer, the report is clear. This is a market value, this is a for sale value. Now you also not owe to give the actual for sale value. If the for sale value, if the car is valued at 100 million, and probably as a market value, and the for sale value is probably 70 million, you cannot give 70 million. Why? Because in collecting that money, there could be some challenges. It could be in default mode. The loan could go in default mode, and probably have to toss it out to the client, get debt collectors and all that, lawyers. That's a cost. So the loan can actually grow to the market value, and the client just leaves you the car. The client could fail to pay for 2-3 months, and you probably the money accumulates to market value. So you ought to give a particular percentage of the for sale value. So if the for sale value is 70 million, you ought to give a particular percentage. It could be 50%, could be 70%, based on the cash flows of the client. Because you see, like I highlighted in the previous video, you may look it up, is that what pays the loan is not the collateral. It is the ability of the client, it is the cash flow of the client to actually pay that loan. So you ought to give a particular percentage. It could be 60% or 70%, based on the cash flows of the client. You can even give as high as 80% if the cash flows of the client are good according to the bank statement. There are those clients who will tell you that, you know what, me, I don't transact on bank. I don't have a bank account. I keep money in a pot or probably in some safe. Come on, how do you prove that? You don't have any other way. So if the client does not bank, you ought not to deal with that client, because you can only prove by running a bank statement and also confirm that the bank statement is actually right. Because there are those guys who even go to Nasa Road, for those who operate in Uganda, Nasa Road, and they concoct a bank statement and they create one. And probably they genuinely get a genuine bank statement, but they also make another one and they use the one that they have fabricated. So you ought to tie these notes so that you don't lose your money. So after doing the valuation, you ought to put a caveat on the car logbook. Caveat, because that's the only way you can register interest on this car. That's an encumbrance on the car logbook. So you ought to put a caveat. So look, I lent this guy money, so he cannot sell this car, he cannot dispose of this car, he cannot transfer this car logbook to other names. So you ought to put a caveat. Now this caveat that you put on this car logbook, the client cannot do anything on this car logbook, so you are actually safe. But you're not yet 100% safe. The other thing you have to ensure is that this car, you can actually put a caveat and you actually have a logbook, but the client can actually move the car outside Uganda, probably in Congo, Sudan, and sell the car. What then happens? You ought to put a tracker in the car to know where the car is, because you're not parking the car. So you ought to know where the car is. Some of these trackers, if it's a legit tracking company, it actually shows you that the guy is moving towards the border post, he's going towards Malaba. And you actually tell that the car is moving towards Malaba, it is going out of the country. So the tracking company owes to tell you. It can even, if you geofence the car, it can even tell you where it has reached and where it is headed. You can geofence that it shouldn't move outside Uganda, so that it alerts you. So you ought to install a tracker in that car, because that's when you're going to be safe. The final point is, even after installing the tracker, you may not fully insulate yourself, because the ultimate thing is that you're not parking the car. So you actually ought to be safe 100%. What then happens? You ought to actually put an insurance coverage, comprehensive insurance. There are some insurance companies that can cover for 1 month, that can cover for 2 months, that can cover for 3 months. You ought to put an insurance that in the event that the car crashes, you don't even have to tussle it out to the client. It will save you, it will save the client. And even educate your clients. Some of the clients who are genuine, they're not bad. They ought to understand. Tell them the event that the car gets an accident, you don't even have to struggle, because you see, this is what I committed to you as a collateral. I've lost it. Then how do you expect me to pay? It is hard. I'm in a double loss. So they also need to be supported. So put insurance on that car. In the event that it gets an accident, in the event that it gets burnt, you can actually be covered 100%. So put insurance. So any other details, as you may know, these YouTube videos are short. You can always sign up for a mastermind and you get to learn the details. You share your experience, I share my experience, and then we get to grow together. So if you're using a car logbook as a collateral, you ought to do these things, and please do not park the car. I hope you learn, but above all, go and implement. Because if you don't implement, you'll have wasted your time. If you implement, you'll grow, and given what, we shall grow together and you'll be on the top. Thank you for watching. See you at the top. always check us out at www.jonekiholdings.com. But also get to like, comment, share, and subscribe so that every other video that comes on board, you get notified that, look, there's a new video and you ought to learn. Thank you so much, and God bless you.